Hey, did you ask me to unmute?
No,
Oh, it said,
sorry. Mhm.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Are you able to join with video? It's not super essential, but if you can, great.
I did click join with video. Let's see. That's weird. Yeah, it says that I'm on video, and the stock video doesn't have a line through it.
All right. Well, no worries. We'll jump in.
I can switch to my phone if that's easier. I'll just have to like stand at my phone. Do you want me to switch?
No, it should be, it'll be easier if you're on your computer, actually.
Okay.
Great. Well, hi, good morning. My name's Ben. I'm a researcher with Chamjari. We are conducting some research today to talk to folks about a bunch of different topics, mostly about purchasing a car and in particular purchasing an electric vehicle. Before I get too far into this, I want to make sure I have your permission to record this.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so throughout our time together today, I'm going to have a bunch of questions for you and a number of different things to show you to get your feedback on. Most important thing is to just please be honest. Your first impressions, your gut instinct is all basically what we're looking for. There's no wrong answers. If you see something you like, let me know about it. And if you see something you don't like, definitely let me know about it.
Okay.
We will keep this recording and any of the data that we capture confidential. We may share that some of our analysis with our internal team and our client, but otherwise you won't have to worry about seeing this go out into the public anywhere. Along the same lines, we're going to show you some things today that are not public, so I would appreciate it if you would agree to keep them within these virtual walls.
Of course.
Great. So do you have any questions before we jump in?
No.
Okay, great. So let's start with you. First, I want to ask whether you tend to purchase or lease vehicles.
In general, I used to purchase, but the last, ever since I met my husband who likes to lease, the last 2 cars we bought have been leases.
Can I ask what those were?
I currently have a Tesla Model X, that's lease. And prior to that, I had a 3-year lease on a Volvo XC90 plug-in hybrid.
Got it. Okay. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you picked that model and how you came to lease that car?
The Volvo or the Tesla?
Let's start with the Tesla.
You know, we've been seeing them for several years and we wanted one for a little while. But because we had just gotten into the Volvo, we obviously couldn't buy one. We had to wait until my 3-year lease was up. So as soon as about a month and a half before my Volvo lease was up, we ordered the Tesla Model X because you can't just go pick one up on a lot. So we pre-ordered it, and it was ready probably a week before my lease was up. So it was like perfect timing. So we just kind of waited for a few days and told Tesla, you know, we just need a few days before we can come pick it up. And that was it. We turned in my Volvo and did a lease inspection and got the Tesla. That was really exciting. It's a really nice car.
Tell me more about that. How did that purchasing process go? Tell me about the pickup process and everything about that.
Well, we put a deposit down at the time of the order. Then we paid the rest of the deposit when we picked it up. So other than that, it was a pretty quick, simple, smooth process. All the paperwork had already been done. We even got our car insurance through Tesla, which is a brand new thing because previously we had been with Mercury for all of the cars. But Tesla has this new auto insurance, and my husband checked with the broker, and it was actually $50 cheaper, I think, to go with the Tesla car insurance, the same coverage. So that paperwork had already been done ahead of time as well. Simple process. They just basically open up the garage bay doors like an airport like a hangar, and they tell you, okay, here's your key. Whichever one, try the key fob. Whichever car in front of you makes noise when you do the key fob, that's your car. Go to it, and there's a tech out there waiting to show you everything. So it was really easy. They make it simple, quick, doesn't take long. It was smooth. It was nice.
What did you think of the car?
I'm sorry.
What did you think of the car?
I loved it. I thought it was, sporty, yet, practical. We picked the Model X specifically. We test drove it quite a while ago because I have two kids. We have two kids. So we needed room for the kids and the dog and stuff in the back. And it doesn't fit quite as much as my Volvo XC90 SUV did in the back. That had more cargo space. But we did test to make sure that our stroller wagon thing fit in the back sideways and that the trunk was closed. So it's practical, it's sporty, it's a quiet ride. I like the styling of it. We chose a charcoal gray with white vegan leather interior, which was very important to me. That's something I've been wanting a long time instead of real leather, and it's awesome that Tesla offers that.
Got it. Okay. Can you talk to me a little bit about the charging process? What is that like?
Well, with the Volvo XC90, because it was a plug-in hybrid, we just used our regular outlet in our garage. But with the Tesla, we actually had an electrician come to our house and install the correct outlet for the dedicated, 220 volt charge, 220 charging. So we spent probably $500 having an electrician. I think it was $450. The electrician come out and do a dedicated Tesla charging, and it charges overnight, and it's great. It's much better than obviously using a house outlet, because that would take 2 days to charge.
Got it. Did you have a Tesla specific charger installed, or what was the actual hardware that you had installed in the garage?
No, we didn't have like a Tesla Powerwall or a Tesla charger. We just had a 220 volt car charger outlet installed near the back of the car, because the charging port's on the back left side, or the back, the rear driver side.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So no, we just had an electrician that was experienced in installing those for people with all electric cars, rather than because a plug-in hybrid, the Volvo only went 20 miles on a charge. So it would, with the regular outlet, it would charge, in 5-6 hours, which is silly, 20 miles. But the Tesla goes 316 miles and, charges quickly overnight with that dedicated charger. So that was a pretty simple, install, but $500. We weren't planning on that, but oh well.
I'm wondering if there are any other costs associated with owning or maintaining or just having the Tesla that you have experienced or you were expecting?
No, we knew that obviously we would not have to get gas anymore. So that was weird to get used to, because I was used to filling up my gas tank with the Volvo, since it only went 20 miles on a charge. So that was kind of weird to get used to not having to stop at a gas station anymore to fill up. But other than that, no, didn't expect or didn't have any other costs involved, because we had a few little issues, which other Tesla owners have told us that are issues, kind of, things that go wrong when you first have it, the first few months. So we had a few little rinky-dink issues, but they come to my house and they fix it, and it's done. So I don't have to drive anywhere. So it's awesome that the tech will come to your house and fix whatever's wrong.
What's an example of something they'd have to come and fix?
I forget. There was a radio issue, so we had a satellite radio issue. But I'm not sure if the tech did that on site or if they fixed that online, because a lot of stuff is downloaded by the server and fixed through the updates. We had a window that was kind of not going up or down all the way. It was staying open a crack. So they fixed that. Something with the back tailgate.
Got it. Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but the tech twice came to our house to fix something.
Got it. Okay. Great. When you were shopping for the car, at what point in this case or in general does the process, does how you're going to pay for the car come into your decision-making process? So is it like the first thing that you decide what your budget is going to be, or do you figure out how you're going to pay for it after you found the car, or some other approach?
A bit of both. I think we knew we wanted to. That was our first decision to get the Tesla Model X. I think price was probably second. So the model of the car and first, and the price second. But because we had the Volvo previously, they're about the same price. So we knew that was going to be our budget anyway.
Sorry for that. Okay, great. So what I want to do now is show you something. I'm going to share my screen with you, and you should be able to move my mouse around and take control of it. What I'd like you to do is take a look at this, and it's a prototype, so not a lot will work. But if you click on something and are expecting something to happen and it doesn't, just tell me what you were expecting, and we'll go from there. Tell me if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, okay, you should be able to move my mouse around. So just take a moment to look around here and talk out loud. Tell me what you're seeing and tell me what you're thinking.
I like the color red. Red's my favorite color. It's kind of sporty, and it says all electric, which is awesome. Then I realized I see the VW Volkswagen insignia logo. That's cool that Volvo's going to have a new all electric car, late 2020. I've had several Volkswagens. I had a 67 Bug and a new Beetle too.
Oh, wow.
Emission-free mobility. Online services. I'm curious. Is that going to be like Tesla, where they fix a lot of things to download it through the server rather than you having to take your car in, or what does that mean? Online services down here.
That's a good question. That's I guess my question for you is, what would you expect?
Probably just that, like the Tesla, where they do a lot of updates through the server, the computer, because the car is a computer basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect kind of that technology, like Tesla, to have updates and fixes through the server, and things that they can't fix by downloading through the server, that they would send a tech out.
Other than maintenance, is there anything you expect your car to provide along those lines, along the lines of an online service?
Oh, expect the car to provide? Things like OnStar if you're in a crash that can help you. Wi-Fi hotspot in the car, maybe. Satellite radio, Pandora, Apple Play, car for listen to your music, all those online services.
Okay, all right. Feel free to scroll down this page and take a look at everything you see here, and let me know what pops out at you.
Well, it's a good price.
Say more about that.
Oh, after federal tax incentive. Okay, well that's kind of tricky and deceiving, but because the federal tax incentive has gone down a lot, like majorly for electric cars, so there's not much, but still that they should say the tax incentive is blah, blah, blah in parentheses so that you know the difference. Because what if in your state, or, in your state incentive is different, I'm sorry, but what if the incentive doesn't apply, or by the time you buy the car, it's gone.
Okay.
So I think that's a little deceptive to say after federal tax incentive, just give the price of the car, but that's a good price. It's low, it's under 40,000, which I think a lot of people, that's kind of a good budget. When I had my Honda Accord, I think it was 20, 25 or 30. I think that's a good price. Affordable, $399 a month for lease. 250 miles, that's really good too. Wow. 30 minutes charge time. That's quick, but I'm assuming they mean with a 220 volt, meaning people have to install a special outlet in their garage to be able to charge it. I'm assuming because that's a fast charge. That's like a turbo charge. So people would have to understand that they'd have to have a 220 dedicated outlet, and an electrician has to install that. I'm guessing, but I don't think a regular outlet's going to charge a car like that quickly. I love the red. It's sporty. It kind of has the all glass top, panel, a hood, top panel look, like the Tesla Model X, because it's one continuous piece of glass. It's not there's a it's all clear above, so it kind of gives that look. Although I can see a regular metal top, but it kind of gives that illusion that it's all glass. I like the two-tone. It's really sporty and kind of rugged with the fenders around the wheel wells.
Is it clear from what you're seeing here what kind of vehicle this is?
You mean, do I know it's electric?
That's part of it. Yeah, I'm just wondering if you how would you classify this kind of car?
Kind of like the Tesla Model X. It's like a crossover, kind of like a hybrid between a sedan SUV, but lower to the ground, so lower center of gravity. Yeah, like a crossover.
Okay. All right.
I can definitely see where they took some of the shape of the new Beetle. I can tell kind of the back and the front a little bit. It does look like it's a more elongated version of the Beetle.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, it's very sporty and kind of a little futuristic looking, but not ugly at all. So I would guess this is an electric car, even if I didn't know it.
Generally speaking, does a car like this fit you?
Yeah.
How does the cost compare to what you would have expected?
Being all electric, I would have expected it to probably be about 50.
Okay. All right.
That's a really, really, really good price. Although, like I said, it's kind of deceiving because it says after federal tax incentive, so they really need to break that out and say, the federal tax incentive as of or up until so and so date is this amount. So after this date, you're going to pay this amount for the car. But I understand they're trying to sell a car and the lower price wins.
Got it. I'm curious what your experience was with the tax incentive with respect to the Tesla. How did that factor in, and how did you get it, and if so, how?
We got a small federal incentive, I believe. I believe they had just phased out the California Tesla incentive, or the California all electric vehicle incentive. So we didn't get both, because there used to be both, and it used to be a really good one. Not only did they phase out California, they reduced the federal tax incentive, and so we had to take ownership before January 1st, 2020, meaning December 31st, 2019, in order to even get I think it was $2,000 federal incentive, or $1,750 when it used to be like $5,000, and the state incentive used to be $2 or $3, and they completely phased that out. That's gone. So it's a lot different. I mean, people can't expect a big tax incentive now to really bring down the price of the car. Like, we got a good tax incentive when we bought the Volvo, because that was little over 3 years ago.
Got it.
It's disappointing, but it's still worth it to me to get the Tesla. It's an awesome car.
I'm curious as to how it actually, did you say you leased the Tesla or you purchased it?
Leased, correct.
Okay. From them? You leased it from Tesla?
Yes.
Okay. How did the tax incentive actually come to you? Did you get a check? Did it come in as a tax credit? Did it affect the lease price?
It lowered the, you know what, I'm trying to remember. I don't know, because my husband probably knows more about that.
Okay.
I know that we knew ahead of time. My husband had been researching it months before we even ordered the Tesla. So he knew that the amounts were going down, and that California was phasing out, and the federal was coming down, because we had seen the announcement, the news about it. So we had researched that ahead of time. So we kind of knew going in. We had already been prepared for that. I'm trying to think if either the lease payment, the total car price and the lease payment went down, like it was ahead of time, or I'm sorry, I can't tell you 100%. I don't remember.
That's all right. So I guess what I would ask is, like, just at a glance on a scale of 1 to 5, how likely would you be to buy something like this?
A 4.
So what I want to do now is show you some examples of some different leasing programs for this vehicle. So let's assume that you're interested and you want to get one. And based off of what you're seeing here in terms of pricing, I'm going to show you some other leasing options. And I just want to get your feedback on how those programs are structured and what makes sense about them and what doesn't, and what appeals and what doesn't appeal. So, okay. This is the first one. And again, you should be able to move your mouse around. So take a look at this, read through it, tell me what you're seeing and what makes sense, what doesn't, any feedback that you have.
It's a 3-year lease, which is, pretty standard. Unlimited charging, definitely need that. Home visit from our EV experts. Oh, it says a suburb 3-year lease with an in-home charger and installation. That's nice. Very good. Got that. Home visit. 20,000 mile limit. That's really good. If that 20,000 miles, that's actually a lot extra. That's nice. Because I drive a lot, so I need extra. I always have to get 15,000 miles. I need extra. Okay.
Does either of these appeal more to you than the other?
I would like to mix the suburb with the city plan.
What would you mix together?
The in-home charger and installation for sure, and the unlimited charging subscription. Because with my Tesla Model X, I can go to any supercharging station in the country, in California, anywhere that I'm driving around, and charge for free. Whereas the people that bought the Model 3 have to pay. They only get a certain amount of charges or something. They have to pay for unlimited. They don't get unlimited charging. It came with my Model X, but it doesn't with the Model 3, the less expensive Tesla.
How much of a difference does that make for you?
I don't know the price that they're paying for charging, but for me, it's priceless. Like, I have unlimited data and unlimited texting on my cell phone with AT&T, which I'm grandfathered in. A lot of people don't offer the unlimited data plans anymore. It's priceless. Like, that's so expensive. I would be paying a fortune for all the data I use, my kids use. So it like unlimited charging, it's priceless to me. That's a lot of money you would probably be spending if you're driving along and driving all over and have to pay at a charging station. That's just silly too. You should just be able to plug it and go. You shouldn't have to pay. That's silly.
Are you
Mix the city plan with the suburb plan, but add the in-home charger and installation with the unlimited charging. I mean, obviously the ding dent protection is awesome too, but charging you could end up doing on a daily basis if you drive a lot, where you're not going to have a ding that you need fixed every day. So
got it.
I would like to, it would be nice if they gave you the flexibility to mix these options. Since it's the same price, like, could you switch one with the other? That would be nice, like a flex plan.
Okay. Are you, would you be able to, off the top of your head, estimate how much you pay to charge your vehicle now at home?
Oh, that's difficult because we have solar panels on our house. So we sell electricity back to the grid. So we don't really know our monthly usage because it comes, I don't think the bill comes every month. I think it's every 2 months or 3 months. And because we sell so much back and we have a really low bill because of our solar, I couldn't even tell you.
So even with the Tesla charging predominantly at home or usually out on the road?
I mostly charge at home. A couple times I've had to drive because I transport for dog rescues. So I'll take a dog or a cat to a rescue or a vet. And I've had to go up to Bakersfield, and I'll charge at one of the superchargers. Like when you're in the Tesla on the screen, it'll tell you while you're driving with the little test with the Tesla logo where the superchargers are at. So I'm just, if I see one, I'll stop and charge. But 90% of the time, charging at home.
Got it. Okay, and even with that, you're still getting a credit from the electric company most months.
Yes.
Good for you. Okay. All right. Let me show you another one of these. And again, just take a look and let me know what you're seeing and what you think.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I've never seen this kind of lease before, where you can add years and your payment gets lower.
What would that mean to you?
You know, if you really love the car, like I really love the Tesla Model X, that would be cool to extend the the ability to extend the 3-year lease and have a lower payment. That I would do that. It's just weird though. It's only in a 2-year initial term.
Why is that?
Well, because see, most leases are 3 years. 2 years is not a standard lease term. 3 years is just the standard that they offer. And I think it's kind of weird that they say year 1 and year 2, $4.99 a month, but because a standard lease is 3 years, they're telling you, okay, you can renew your lease and extend it. Well, but that means, I don't know, it's just strange that they would do a 3-year lease initially, then extend it another year and another year, in year 4, year 5, but
Got
that does not mean anything. I don't know why they chose to do that. There must be a reason. But it's nice to have a lower payment, especially if you love the car. Like I would want to probably keep my Model X.
Yeah.
Actually, what if in 3 years when I'm ready to turn in my lease, they haven't redesigned the Model X or changed anything significantly? Why don't I just keep the car instead of having to turn it in and find something else or pay for another Tesla and start over again? So you might want to keep it. So I love this plan. Yeah, and the ability to purchase a vehicle to price determinate contract. My husband's done that before with one of his cars. So that's good too to have. I do, it's really nice to see the lower payment. I'm sure this is the only time I've ever seen something like this.
Do you know, is there do you have the option to purchase your Model X at the end of your lease?
I don't even know. Now that we're doing this, I'm going to ask my husband because that's interesting. I would think so, but I don't know how Tesla does things. So because they're kind of an oddball the way they do things. It's different. So
yeah. Okay. Let me show you the next one. And again, take a look at this and tell me what you see.
Okay, so it's only a 1-year commitment. You can trade it in for a brand new in 1 year. Okay, and if you decide to keep it instead of trade it in, you can lease for an additional year for a lower price. Okay, so year 1, the payment is $9.99 a month, which is double the $4.99 a month that you paid in the other plan. But year 2 would be $5.49 a month. But the flexibility of being able to get out of the car after a year, maybe you're someone that likes to have cars or like switch cars that often because you get bored of one. This probably would work for people.
What about for you?
No, I think 1 year is too little. I can't see myself trading in a car, getting a different car or paying $9.99, double the amount for that flexibility because I don't think it would be beneficial to me. I wouldn't use it. But I think maybe younger people that are kind of like instant gratification, 20s, maybe they just get bored and they want to switch cars, or they're just a car nut and they just love cars and they like to be able to get something new and different every year. That would work for them if they can afford it. I mean, it's $1,000 a month. It's double what the other one is. So, but it's flexible. It's flexible, but it would not work for me. I'm older. I'm 42. I have kids. It just seems like too much of a hassle to have to get out of a car after a year and find a new car and decide what you want. And I don't, it wouldn't work for me. It's not practical for me.
All right. Let me show you another option here. Take a look around. Tell me what you think.
Okay. Okay, see, this is kind of more what I was looking for. All-inclusive electric. So 3-year lease, okay, standard, in-home charging installation, home visit, unlimited charging, unlimited miles, routine maintenance. The routine maintenance, I mean, okay. Again, that's a little deceiving because with an all-electric car, you don't have oil changes. So I'm just curious what they mean by routine maintenance. Do they mean ding and dent protection like was in the first one that I liked? That they should say that there. Routine maintenance, what does that mean? I mean, you don't have oil changes. You're not a gas car. So I'm curious, like they should put what that means.
Okay.
It would be nice if they had the ding and dent protection instead of saying routine maintenance, because to me that would be more beneficial. And since I know a little bit about electric cars, not needing maintenance, that's a little deceiving. So I don't like when they do those types of things.
Got it. Have you had to have your car, other than the things that needed to come out to be fixed, like repaired, has there been any routine maintenance on the Tesla yet?
No, everything's online. Everything's downloaded from the server. So when your car is charged, charging in your garage and you're sleeping at night, Tesla's doing updates. So you wake up in the morning, the update's done, and you're like, oh, my car can go 20 miles farther. This is awesome.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Do you know if there is anything planned in the next year or two that will require putting the car up on a lift and doing anything?
Obviously brakes, no, because you hardly ever use your brakes in the Tesla because of the regenerative braking. So not the brakes, which isn't covered by routine maintenance anyway, because brakes are a wear and tear issue, just like tires. So honestly, I'm really stumped, like what they mean by routine maintenance. I have no clue.
Got it. Okay. All right. That's good feedback. Thank you. The price, I'm wondering, how does that compare to what you're paying for the Tesla? And because you are getting unlimited charging with them, right?
Mm-hmm. No, this price is really good. $549 a month. Yeah, $549. That's awesome. But I pay a lot more for my Tesla.
Okay. Can I ask what your lease payment is on the Tesla?
$1,500 a month.
Okay. All right. Let me show you this and get your feedback on this option.
Okay. Term upgrader. Okay. So it's a 4-year lease instead of 3, but they will upgrade you to the new model year halfway through, meaning 2 years. Okay. Same price as the last one. I mean, that could work because you might get bored of a car in 2 years or want something different, or maybe they've done it like a redesign or done the interior differently or changed the technology inside the car. You might want to swap out. So that's kind of cool.
For the same price as the previous package, which is more appealing to you?
It's not as valuable to me as the previous package because it comes with everything: the unlimited charging, the home installation of the charging package, that stuff. That is more beneficial to me. The previous package at the same price, $549 a month. So I would go with the previous package, but this one is kind of cool. Again, I don't know if I would want to switch cars at 2 years, but some people I think would. I think this is probably a really good option for people. But for me, I prefer all of the bells and whistles, all of the extra add-ons of the previous package.
I'm curious with the Tesla, was there anything that you were asked to or able to add on to the lease other than, you've got the unlimited charging and you installed the charging outlet yourself, or you had somebody do that? Was there anything else they offered you?
No, because everything was done when you build the car. So you just go online to the Tesla website and you pick the options you want and you build the car, even the seating arrangement. So instead of 7 seats, we did the 5 seats with the bigger cargo space because I never have, rarely, never, maybe once a year have extra people that would want to go in my car. So that was, so we decided to do the five seat arrangement with the extra cargo space. So no, everything was done when you built the car, so there wasn't anything extra that we did at the time of picking up or leasing.
When you built the car, were there options that you added that increased the overall price?
Yes, it was extra for the color paint I chose. So we had to pay a little bit extra for the color paint because with Tesla, which is kind of odd, it's kind of a quirky thing they do. Only white is free. So literally one color. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can understand metallic paints, being extra like that pearlescent sheen that some cars have.
Mm-hmm.
Share with other car companies. But literally one color is standard. And any other color, we got charcoal gray, so we did have to pay, I think, $1,500 or something. It was crazy.
Okay.
But I didn't want white. My Volvo was white, and I was tired of white, so I picked a color. So we could pay extra for that. We paid extra for the seating arrangement. So you're funny enough too. The 7-seat arrangement is standard. We chose to go down to the 5-seat arrangement with the middle, the bench in the middle, rather than captain's chairs and the 2 seats in the back, or the bench seat in the back. So that was extra. We had to pay, I think, $2,000 extra to switch the seating arrangement. I mean, they get you somewhere.
Got it. Okay. All right.
That and yeah, a couple things like that. So a few extras.
Got it. Okay, but that was before you sort of got to the leasing process and were picking out leasing terms.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Let me show you this and get your feedback on this concept.
Okay, easy. I couldn't imagine people not wanting an all-electric car, but wanting to return it after 60 days or before 60 days. But I guess that's good.
How certain were you that you wanted an all-electric vehicle?
Oh, for years before this. I mean, I had a Mercedes GL 550 before they changed the name of all the GLs, the big SUVs for Mercedes, and it was a gas guzzler. And I'm like, I can't wait to get out of this lease and get either a plug-in hybrid or an all-electric vehicle. So I couldn't wait even before I had my Volvo. Then I got my Volvo and it only went 20 miles on the charge. I'm like, this is silly. This is silly. So probably 5 years before I got the Tesla, I knew I wanted an electric car.
Were there any questions that you just sort of had, I don't know, in your mind before you owned an electric car that was sort of like, I wonder what that's like?
The not having to get gas, worrying about accelerating onto the freeway like an on-ramp that's maybe, kind of an incline, worried about acceleration, would the car seem slow, that kind of thing. But the Tesla is super fast. No worries about acceleration. So
when you were looking at the Model X, was the unlimited charging aspect of it important?
It didn't even cross my mind. I probably just assumed that I could charge anywhere for free. I did. I didn't know that only the Model X. It wasn't until we picked up the car that day that our car was ready after buying and ordering it that I found out that the Model X is the only Tesla that comes with unlimited charging. The Model 3 and the S, Model S. I'm sorry. I think the S and the Model X come with unlimited charging. I think it's the Model 3 that does not. Excuse me. And I didn't know that until that day. I probably just went along assuming that all electric vehicles could charge for free, but that I guess maybe that's not the case even with other electric vehicles. Like the BMW has one. Volvo is going to come out, I think, by 2022 with an all-electric vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So I just assumed. I had no idea.
Did you already have plans to install the outlet in your house before you picked up the Model X?
I think we did. But we probably didn't know for sure what we were doing until we went there to pick up the car, because they give you this little 10-minute video they want you to watch to learn about the vehicle. So you sit down in chairs and watch this little, this video they have. If they talk about, you can pay extra for the Tesla, the Powerwall in your garage, not the Powerwall, but the charger that they have, and it's a lot more expensive. Plus, you have to pay for the electrician. So we decided that day, obviously, that we would just get our own electrician to and not to use the Tesla branded charger.
Got it. Okay. Let me show you one more option here, and just take a look at this and tell me what you think.
Okay, don't pay extra. $399 plus $59 for the in-home charger. $59 a month. For how many months? That's crazy. That's a lot more than you would pay an electrician for installation and a charger. That's crazy, a crazy price. Yeah.
How does it compare to the charger that Tesla wanted to sell you?
I think the charger itself was $500 plus you'd have to pay an electrician to install it, so that maybe could be an extra $450. Like we spent $450, so that's about $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
This is $59 a month over what, 3-year lease? That's $60. It's $60 $60 a month times 12. That's times. That's $1,500. That's a lot more. They're adding in that's a lot more than you would pay doing it on your own.
Got it.
Okay. So that's out. I would not do that. Routine maintenance, $6 a month. Again, that's deceptive. You don't need maintenance on an electric vehicle for the most part. No oil changes. So what does that include? What are they calling routine maintenance? That's it's
sure.
And $6 a month, really? Home visit, okay, that's free. Emergency roadside assistance, $6 a month. That's a little expensive to me. I don't think that should be like $2 a month.
Okay.
Unlimited charging subscription, $19 a month. Okay, that's more palatable, I guess. Yeah, $19 a month. Okay, but anything more than that would be too much. Little miles for $40 a month. I mean, yeah, I don't like this package. They really need to lower the price of that in-home charger and installation monthly price like by half. That's way too expensive. And $40 a month for unlimited miles. I don't think so. I mean, you're at $399 a month to start plus all these add-ons, because you're probably going to pick several. You're going to end up paying more, maybe more than you would have if you just gone with the other unlimited package at $549 or $499. So no, I don't like this one.
Got it. All right. That's great feedback. Thank you. What I'm going to do now is show you another screen, and what I'd like you to do is along the left are sort of all the things that you might put together into a lease package. And what I'd like you to do is just pick one of these first four in terms of how the length of the lease, and then anything else that you would definitely want. And that would fit within your budget.
Okay.
Okay, great. I'm wondering if there are any other things.
I think you need to hit that finish button. I thought it meant I was finished with the exercise.
No, that's fine. I'm wondering if there's anything that you, tell you what, I'm just going to go back here just so you can see the list.
Okay, sorry.
I wonder if there is anything else here or anything that isn't here that is important to you in terms of like your vehicle, your lease, how you're paying for the car, anything related to the car that you're not seeing here.
The only thing I don't see here is anything about the ding and dent protection, but again, because I don't know what they call routine maintenance, that might be included, so that might have changed my mind about putting that in a different place. But that's the only thing I didn't see.
Is that something that Tesla offers?
In the first, in Tesla, no, I don't believe so.
Okay. Have you, is it something you've had to have repaired in the past?
In a few cars, yes. Either driving on the road in a truck, kicked up a rock, or something like that. I've had to have, I think, 2 cars I've had a windshield crack fixed. One car I had to have the complete windshield replaced because the crack, it was just too big. They couldn't fix it. And another one, they just had to come out and do a little quick fix on it to fill it.
Got it. What about, I don't recall where you put roadside assistance, but you had mentioned earlier that you thought it should be less expensive. Is it something you've had to use in the past?
We have AAA, so I don't need to pay extra or have some random roadside assistance that comes with the car. I've never, we've always done AAA since my parents have had it, grandparents, so we don't need it.
If you ran out of charge on your Tesla, what would AAA do? Do you know?
I don't know. That's a good question. I should find out.
Along those lines, you seem to know where, do you know where all the chargers are? You said that the information screen in the Tesla will tell you, but I'm wondering if it's just sort of something you know as part of like your trip planning.
Kind of. I mean, my local area, I live in Santa Clarita and in Valencia, about 5 minutes from my house, there is a supercharging station. So a lot of the local people driving through know Santa Clarita has one. Kind of people like coming down from Bakersfield before they go to like the San Fernando Valley or go farther down, south to LA, San Diego. A lot of people will stop at Santa Clarita at the Valencia supercharger. So that's local to me, so I know where that is and I can go. Say if I just don't have time to charge at home and I know I'm taking a longer trip, I'll go sit there for 20, 30 minutes in my car and wait while it charges because it's super fast. I mean, you sit there for 10 minutes and it charges 50 miles. It's really good. So I know that. I know there's one, couple on the way to Bakersfield and up that direction up north. And yeah, I kind of know locally where they're at, but otherwise if I'm going farther, I kind of look on the screen before I leave and I map it up so I know where they're at when I'm driving.
All right. Anything else that is important to you in terms of taking care of the car, owning the car, getting the most out of it?
No, I mean Tesla, like I said, all the updates are done online, via the server when it's charging and I'm sleeping, and they come to your house to fix things, little repairs, and I get a little bit of charging. No, I can't think of anything.
How does that all compare to like the dealership experience you had with the Volvo? I'm assuming that Volvo didn't come out and fix stuff at your house.
No, and Volvo, we had to go to Galpin, which is in Van Nuys, and it's a pain in the butt to get there and to take your car there, and it's so busy there, and it's just a cattle call, the dealership experience, going to pick out the car and how many hours it takes to do the paperwork, and taking your car in for service and having to have an Uber ride or someone pick you up. You wait for your car if it's going to take longer than a couple hours. I'm over that. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you. That has been fantastic feedback. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up?
No, thanks. I love doing these.
Cool. Do you have any questions before we?
Nope.
Good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for taking the time today, and I appreciate it.
Okay, you too. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.